Afternoon, Will.
Good morning, Richard. How you doing today?
Doing good.
Good.
How are you?
My call after you canceled, so I'm a little free on time today if we need more time.
Okay. I don't know what mine is. I'll have a look in a sec.
Yeah, so we're not rushing or anything.
All right, let's go to share. Just pull up my calendar real quick. Oh, yeah, I have
You got 30?
30 minutes at the end if we need it.
30 extra minutes, you mean?
30 minutes at the end of this. Yeah, so we would have a total of an hour if we ran over.
Cool. All right, well, let's pick up from where we started yesterday.
Yeah, so we were in your template. And it was called Will Test 2. I think it was this one.
Yeah.
No, it was the CSV
I
driven
think it was
one.
just test, lowercase, all test. Yeah.
The CSV one.
Yeah.
No, because we actually had a campaign
Yeah,
draft.
drafts. It says, yeah, it has to be the third one because the third one
It's
says
one of these because they're all CSV.
the one towards the top is also CSV. That one.
That one we just looked at, it wasn't that one.
I think it was. We just needed to click the import button. Click where it says CSV import. Yeah, and then just click next. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was the lowercase test.
So we could just next through this, right? So definitely not that
Um,
one. Oh, maybe
wait,
that
can
one.
you?
Yes, this one.
It was. Yeah, I gotta zoom out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let me check my notes from yesterday.
This is where we've gotten to. One of the questions I've got is I was trying to work out what this means.
Yeah.
The 30 days. So if connected, choose when we should run this step after the previous.
So basically, the way I read this is if they connect within 30 days, then the check mark means the green, they go to the left.
So you're saying that within a 30 days, so it doesn't wait 30 days. It will start doing its thing immediately, start sending stuff off down this left path the moment they connect? Or do you think, because when I read this, when should we run this step after the previous one?
I can see how that's confusing. So to make it really simple for you, and you can change the amount of days and hours as you can see down below.
Yeah, yeah.
But the way this is set up is, so the step before is invite to connect. Okay.
Yes.
So first we send them an invitation to connect, and then let's say they get it today, the 11th of March.
Yep.
That's gonna be pending until they accept it or not. If they don't accept it within 30, let's say they don't accept it and it surpasses 30 days and now we're at April 11th, then it's gonna go down
The
the
right path.
right path, correct.
That makes sense to me.
If they
I
connect
was
within the
trying to
30
make
day
the left
period,
side make sense. Yeah.
yeah, if they connect within the 30-day period, then immediately, if we can scroll down a little bit to the left side, immediately it will verify their email. And immediately it goes down to if email is verified, it sends them a LinkedIn message 1 hour after it's verified. Or if it's not verified, it'll send them a LinkedIn message on the other end.
So that could be as early as March 11th, or it could be as late as April 11th,
Correct. Only for
or
the people.
as late as April 10th. Otherwise, they're always going off down the right path.
Well, let's say, well, people will connect with you today, or sorry, people, you'll invite people to connect with you today, tomorrow, the next day. So that becomes April 12th, April 13th. So depending on when the invitation was sent out, that is relative to when they would go to the next step. So every day someone's going to be in a
So
different.
why would you, let me ask you this then. Why would you build a campaign that that slows you by 30 days?
What do you mean slows you?
I understand if someone hasn't connected within 30 days, so inaction will take you down the right-hand leg of the
Mhm.
campaign.
Yeah.
Inaction on behalf of the prospect, you go
Hmm.
down the right-hand side. But if you take action, if you connect
Hmm.
on March 11th,
Hmm.
it looks like this still takes 30 days before this happens.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay, so you're saying that if they connect on March 11th, it immediately launches this path.
Correct.
Okay,
As soon as they connect, they go to the left.
okay. And then only if they haven't, and basically left and right are both the same, practically.
They're similar. So there's 5 branches. The first branch to the left,
This
that's
is about email verification, and this one just adds um, paid and unpaid in mail. So I understand that.
yeah. Well, there's 5 paths. So the first path is strictly LinkedIn. The second path is a mix of LinkedIn and email. The third path is just email, and the fourth and fifth path are just InMail.
Okay. Now, so one of my goals
You can
is to
rearrange
build.
you can rearrange this the way you would like. This is totally customizable in this setup phase.
No, I understand what I want to do. One of the things that I originally wrote to you about, um, I want to be able to take them from like this is a great question,
Hmm.
but then we're not utilizing email
Where in the first branch?
in the first branch
Scroll down for me in the first branch. See how
until I see.
it
Yeah,
changes
okay.
it changes the email. So if they don't respond on LinkedIn, that means that they're probably never or really late going to respond on LinkedIn. So maybe that channel is not the right channel for them. But their email was verified, which we did in a previous step. So we're switching from LinkedIn because we realized that didn't work. We're switching over to email for 3 steps, those 3 final steps in that branch.
Yeah, okay.
So that it's a backup. If they don't get you on, if they don't see your LinkedIn message, then maybe those are their email. Maybe they see emails that's their better channel.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. I
And
know
so
that was
there's
hard
no
to say.
logic applied here. It just does it, right?
So it's stop on response. If they respond, then it stops the sequence. They won't get the next step.
And I think that's something that I've been witnessing. And I think it's now, I've got to figure out what to do. So people reacted much like I thought they would.
Hmm.
Um,
So let me explain something.
within,
It's stop on response, but if you want to put them back in the sequence, then you can do that with 2 clicks.
so let's have a look at that. Because that's what I'm keen to learn. I don't want to
Okay.
lose the
I have
flow
a
with those.
I have a video for that. I'll send it to you later. I'll show you right now. But I have a specific video that has to do with what do I want to do if I want to put them back in the campaign. So click cancel as you are.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I have a really bad cough.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
Go to the messages tab on the left-hand panel,
yeah,
and you're going to see all the responses from your campaigns.
okay, yeah,
Now let's click a random one who responded.
okay.
Okay, perfect. So he said, "Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Same to you." let's assume that you want him to receive the next step, whether it's a LinkedIn or an email or an email, you want to put him back in the campaign.
I do,
To,
yeah.
to do that, first you click the name, which you already did. We're already in the Keith Monroe conversation. Now
Yeah.
on the right side of your screen, upper corner, there are 3 dots. Click the 3 dots and click back to campaign. And then you can scroll down and select the stage you want to put them in. So if he responded to LinkedIn message 1 and he never got LinkedIn message 2, then what you can do is you can click LinkedIn message 2 and then click send in the bottom right corner. So for example, go ahead and click LinkedIn message 2.
Where do you see LinkedIn message 2?
Scroll down a little bit. I saw it underneath view profile. There's 2 of them. Yeah, so well, can you click it? Can you click one of the LinkedIn messages?
This
Yeah.
is the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
So,
that's the second one. That's
well, it doesn't matter. I mean, let's pretend that you want to put him into this step, hypothetically. You can click the message to read, to refresh your memory. Okay, this is what I'm sending to him next. And then you can click send, that blue button, to send the message. And you can schedule it for it to be sent later, or if you just skip the click send, it'll send it within the next 5 minutes.
so
So that's how
interesting.
you return them to the campaign. It's called returning them to a campaign. That's the terminology we use.
So send lead back to the campaign. And is there a batch?
Oh, you see, it says returned to Cam's connection campaign on 3/11. So
Yeah.
it tracks it. So if you forget, you can go back here and say, oh yeah, I added him to, I returned him back to the campaign on this.
Okay, so that's returning to a campaign. What if I now wanted to let's say connect that, do that one, and that one, and send them off to a new email-based campaign?
To a new campaign? Like
Yeah,
a,
or is that done a different way?
so for example, you have them in campaign A and now you want to move them to campaign B? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, you know what? So if I took, okay, so I've got 24 selected. Keith, I've just pushed back in. Interesting enough, because I recognize that this campaign is somewhat flawed because I was still learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The kindest of them, those that actually responded and said, "Hey, thanks ever so much," right? Like very human.
Right.
I shot myself in the foot by not even getting their email address because that step wasn't until after they'd already fallen out of the campaign. So if I now want to take the 23 that are on this page and add them back to that campaign at the same step I just added Keith, is that doable or do I have to do it one by one?
Sorry, so to the same campaign that they're already in, just
That
to the
they're already,
just,
I want to send them back to
to the beginning?
exactly where I just sent Keith.
I don't think you can do that in bulk. I think one by one, you would just click the 3 dots, add the return to campaign, select the step, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
So
the first
that's
time I've heard
interesting.
this type of question before.
No, that's okay.
No, it's good to know what people are asking. So yeah,
So,
so one by one, you would return them to the campaign to the step that you want.
all right. So let's just,
Hypothetically, I mean, realistically, you wouldn't you wouldn't be in a position to do this in bulk. Your position would always be, okay, I got the response today. I located it today. What's the next step for me? And you would just return them to the campaign on that same day, if that were to happen during a non-test campaign.
so she has
Oh,
already received that.
you know
It's,
what? I'm learning
it's
something.
not as easy.
I just realized something. You see at the top of your screen, it says campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Can you click that drop down? Oh
Sorry.
no, no.
That's all right. Getting ahead of myself. Let's go and do Aiden.
I think. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know this. I didn't know you could switch campaigns and add them to a different step. Interesting.
Okay, so pick the campaign where the lead will be sent. All right, perfect.
I've never done that before. That's good to know. Yeah, so step one, choose your campaign. Step two, choose your step that you want to put them in.
So that's interesting. I could now, all right.
Now be
You're right.
aware.
I could have chosen
Be aware.
a different
Sometimes
campaign.
sometimes steps won't work due to user error. For example, if if you return someone to a step where they need to connect with you first, but they never connected with you, and you put them in a message step, it won't fire because they have to connect with you first. So just make sure that you're returning them into a step that will actually work because of the previous steps. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense.
Good.
All right, so I've just sent those three. Now, him, I'm interested. So Douglas here looks like messages.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have all outbound? No. Hang on. All right, so let me just ask a question about this one. So is he here because he connected? Because look, he hasn't
Yeah.
messaged me.
So when this happens, I want you to open up your actual LinkedIn and I want you to check your regular free LinkedIn basic inbox. Sometimes they respond to you without connecting and it causes that thing that you're just showing me right now.
Okay, so let's go to messaging over here.
Yeah. And then at this up at the top where it says search
Oh,
messages,
there's Douglas. Look.
did he respond? Yeah, he did. But did he connect with you? Looks like yes. Me too, Richard. Glad to have. When was this? This was at 1:12 p.m. Friday.
1:12 on Friday. Yeah, interesting.
Can you go back to Prospector? All
Yeah.
right. This is a thing that we do regularly, so I recommend you do it as well. At the top of your screen, it says sync. It's a small button that says sync. Do you see that?
Do I have to keep moving pieces of? Oh, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, got it.
So sometimes if something doesn't sync up, it's good to click that, wait 5 minutes, and refresh your screen, and what should be there will be there. You just need to. It automatically syncs every couple hours, but it's good to manually click it if there was a long wait period, like for example, 17 hours ago. And it usually doesn't do syncs during like the nighttime when no one's working.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the system tries to be as human as possible.
So it was smart enough to recognize that he'd responded.
Mm-hmm.
So I can, I mean,
And just because of my experience, I knew that he was going to be in the basic inbox.
yeah, and that's fine. So I can even bring him back. I mean, I'm going to go through them all manually and drop them into the next piece of the campaign, but I can build it around that so that they don't have to do that, right?
Can you rephrase the question? What was that?
I can build a campaign much like the one you shared with me yesterday that we looked at first, where they don't leave. I don't have to go through this because they're all automatically being picked up in the next step, right? No, that's
Right.
not
Well,
true.
yeah, you would only go to the messages tab to see if you have any new responses.
So is there a campaign flow that says if they have messaged you, now do this?
Yes, there is a if replied step.
If replied, let's have a look. Create a campaign.
Let's go back to our draft, yeah. Okay, so if connected, if opened, if link clicked. Oh, is there no if replied? I mean, traditionally, if they reply, then we know what to do next. They either want to chat or they don't want to chat, and we schedule the appointment. My mistake for telling you that there was an if reply. I thought there was. I've never used it, and it's because when someone replies, we either do one of three things. We schedule the appointment with them, we add them to a not interested stage in our pipeline, or we return them to the campaign if it makes sense. So usually there's no need for an if reply because the goal is to get them to reply. Once they replied, you got them. Then we're going to set up an automation where they transfer to your pipeline.
You kind of, well, that's not entirely true, is it? See you later, kid. Have a great day. You
I
have,
could see you would want like if they reply, they get this email. I could see that. I could understand that.
yeah. So if they replied, what you've done is you've got kind of
Mhm.
proof of life and professional courtesy. I
Mhm.
think that's a great indicator. And right now, and I get knowing that they've connected, or if they've replied, that's great. But they're not going to reply with, "Oh, it's great that you've reached out. Now tell me about all your products," because I'm not even pitching a product, right? I'm just pitching a relationship.
Yep.
Hey, I'll extend my network to yours because we're both fighting the same sets of bad guys. So if they've replied, I want to be able to do something where I'm like, okay, I want to say thank you for replying. Oh, sorry. Currently,
Mhm.
I connect with my beautiful friendly message and they respond with, "Hey, that's great. Thanks ever so much." Right
Mhm.
now, they fall out of my campaign. Their automation path has stopped until you just showed me what you showed me, which is great. Um, and I was surprised they were only 23. But now
Oh
they're
wow.
actually the hottest, but
Yes.
they're
So
no more known to me.
this is what we do. When someone replies, they automatically show up in your pipeline. And the way we set it up for
All
99%
right,
of
teach me.
people,
Show me, because I'm definitely asking questions that you
yeah.
have already solved for somewhere.
Yes. Well, look, so just to give you clarity, and I'll show you when someone reply, the way we have it set up by default is when someone replies, they automatically get put into your opportunities pipeline. And once they get there, there's a trigger set up that puts them in an email drip campaign. Now that can be turned off, turned on, adjusted, whatever, but that's already pre-set up. And I think that's what you're looking for. So if they reply, make XYZ happen. XYZ does happen after they reply. And once they reply, they're in your pipeline so you can see all of your warmest leads. All your warmest leads will be in your opportunities pipeline. So
Okay, so
go to
there's opportunities.
there's opportunities,
Yeah.
prospects, new leads. So let's just clarify. We have many pipelines. This is the pipeline that you're okay starting with.
Okay.
A lot of them are not related to your business. So we can just remove those later on. But go through these steps. Does this all make sense? So not new lead, responsive, spoke, not interested.
Yeah, that's all fine, but I can't see the ones that you told me would be here.
Well, because we haven't, we mean the ones have replied so far.
The ones who have replied.
We haven't set up the automation for that. I think somewhere along the way, I don't know if you skipped it, but in the instructions to set things up, there is a part where it's like, do this part, but we'll do it together. Go back to
Oh, I know
opportunities.
why. I got to this place and I went, you know what? It's, I will tell you, when I hit this page, I'm like, you can have your money back because this is
What happened?
so set up for uh your mortgage business, your realtor business, that I'm like, it's the level of effort to get it from where it currently is in a almost, I look at realtors and mortgage brokers very much as a
Mhm.
B2C almost as opposed to a B2B. I'm like the lift is too
Yeah.
enormous.
Let me kind of shift your perspective on this. So while all the content in here is focused towards real estate and mortgage related, the workflows, the exact workflows that you want, the systems, that's all set up. So you don't have to create that from scratch when you get something like this from scratch. So all we need to do to make it less scary and more simple is take out the content and take out the content that's mortgage related and you put in the content that's related to your business. So that means you don't have to restructure systems or remake workflows. You just need to take out and plug in what you want. So for example,
Okay.
for example, an email campaign, um, it goes email, wait, email, wait, email, wait, like wait a week. All we need to do is take out the email content and put in yours. But the actual like clicking and creating of the structure of the workflows, we don't have to waste time doing that because that's already done. The skeleton's already done. So hopefully that uh,
Yeah, you'll
makes.
see that I didn't cancel, right? I continue to go through
That's
it.
why we're
There's some
here.
I can see
Yeah.
real value here, but given you know what it is, sometimes you get 4 hours to do something, and sometimes you get 20 minutes between tasks. You're like, come on, I gotta get there. I gotta, and other
Totally.
times I can spend a whole weekend, and it's just about optimizing the time, knowing
Yeah.
where and when to start, and then thinking about, okay, well, some of this is about what do I want them to do, right? There's a whole customer journey that I want them to
Yeah.
go on. I want them to go to the
My
website.
my goal, Richard, for you is to turn this into the light speed for you guys. So a lot of the mortgage, in baby steps, we'll remove a lot and we'll put a lot in, and at the end of the day, you'll just have your Lightspeed Omega platform.
Well, if that's the case, every new seller we bring on, I'll be able to bring you a new license, a new seat. So it helps us both.
Helps us both. I want to go back to opportunities really quick. I want to show you a better pipeline that we use for LinkedIn outreach. Can you click the drop down and select the realtor one? We can rename that.
Sure.
So what we usually do is we're targeting realtors, and when they respond, they show up in stage one, new lead. And then every time someone shows up there, we don't want to leave them there. That's just a placeholder. We want to
Yep.
move them over to stage two if they replied neutrally, which triggers an email follow-up campaign in
Yep.
this default case. If they respond positively, we move them over to stage three, and those are your hottest leads.
Yep.
Or if they want to chat over 2 weeks from now because they're on vacation, we move them over to wants to chat later. So you know who wants to chat now versus later. Keep on going to the left, to the right, excuse me. And now appointment booked. So assuming that you schedule the appointment through Omega, that lead is going to go right to that stage. And if the
Yep.
appointment is missed, you can bump them backwards. If the appointment is complete, you can bump them up to stage 5.
I see that.
Then after that, you have a roadmap to get the second appointment, the third appointment, and then those last three stages can be changed to maybe customer instead of referral.
Yep. Understood. That makes sense.
Yep. And then the way end, you saw there was 2 not interested stages. One is not interested today, and one is not interested ever, which turns
Yep.
off all communications. So
That's
I like,
effectively that's only ever the opt out, right?
right. If you put them there, then they're put on do not disturb. Correct.
Yeah. That's fine.
So I want to use this. I want to use this pipeline, but I want to change the title. So let's do that really quick. At the top of your screen, click where it says pipelines. And then where it says realtors, I want you to click the pencil. Okay, and then delete realtors and change that to Lightspeed leads. What should we call it?
Alert speed. Um,
Alert speed. Oh, sorry, I've been saying Lightspeed, alert speed. Sorry.
alert speed. Okay.
Okay. And can you add 2 asterisks to the beginning so that it pops up at the top? Yeah. Okay, then scroll down and click save.
Do we want it visible? No.
No, just leave those off. Click save. Okay, cool. Now let's set up the automation so that when people reply, they go to that pipeline. So click the
Okay.
automations tab and then click, actually scroll up, go to the search bar on the right and
Yep.
type in LinkedIn. I forget what folder it's in, but if we type it in, we'll find it. Okay, do you see where it says master workflow when an
Yeah.
audience name replies to my LinkedIn? Yeah, click that. First, let's change the title. So where it says audience name, you can change that to alert speed leads or something like that. Perfect. Okay, and then can you drag just a little up in the workflow? I want to see the trigger box. Okay.
Yeah.
So click where it says add new trigger. Oh, you know what? Actually, um, yeah, okay. Now in the search trigger box where it says search trigger, I want you to type in webhook
Oh, that was something
and then
I
click
went off and researched the crap out of webhooks. I couldn't understand them at all. That was a bridge too far for my brain.
ta-da, here it is. So click inbound webhook. And now I want you to, where it says URL, I want you to click the clipboard at the end of that long URL. Okay.
We're going to copy that.
All right. Now we're going to paste it in Prospector. So go back to Prospector. Let's cancel and get out of here. Yeah, click yes. Okay, now on the left side, click integrations. And then click create, upper right corner. Now paste that URL in that slot. Okay, now click the checkbox where it says when a lead replies. Then click test next to it. All right, now scroll down. And we're going to skip email, webhooks, campaign when you need to add a tag. Skip all that.
Yeah.
Now, do you see where it says global webhook and individual campaigns?
Yeah.
So global means when something happens in all campaigns, it triggers that webhook. Or if you only want campaigns 1 and 2 and not 3 and 4 to be triggered by this, then you'd select individual campaigns.
So in this instance, we would want, so it's just being used, a reply is just being used as a trigger, and then we can contextualize subsequently. So this would stay global, right?
I would keep it global unless you want to split things up into different workflows
No,
later.
because there's always, irrespective of campaign, because I want to get to a place of uber personalization, right? Because there's a lot of information. I'm
If you're
heavy
gonna
on
want to do
variables and parameters.
for Uber personalization, we're gonna want to go with individual campaigns, but you just want to know that for
However,
every
this step is going to be in every campaign.
well, no, only if we do global. Only if we do
That's
global.
what I mean. I want to keep it global because this step applies to
Okay.
any campaign I'll ever run.
Okay, then let's keep it global and click create. All right, now go back to Omega Lead Converter, the main Omega page. And then click fetch sample requests at the bottom.
Oh,
And then click select payload. And then select that first little thing that popped up. Yep. And then click save trigger at the bottom right corner. And then click delete because we already created this step for you. So click delete. It's asking us to create a contact create stage, but we don't need to because we already did it. So just click delete in the bottom center.
oh,
that
down in
right
the
there.
bottom.
Click that. Yeah, there's no need to create this step because we already did it. Click delete.
We did already do that.
Yeah, so what we just did is we created that trigger box at the top. And then by default, it asked us, do you want to create a contact create step? But we already did that by default. So if you click that, you don't need to create this first name thing, last name thing. That takes a lot of tedious work. It actually hurts my hand. So it's
Okay.
done. It's done for you. What's going to happen is when they reply, their first name, last name, phone number, email message on LinkedIn, business name, and contact source, LinkedIn, is all going to get put into a contact card in that Omega pipeline.
Got it.
So click save action and save at the top. Okay, so when someone replies, it's going to trigger the inbound webhook. Then what's going to happen?
No issues with this up here? What's going on there?
Oh, I know
Error
why.
while saving the workflow.
I know why. Okay, so let me explain what the workflow what happens in the workflow, and then we'll fix that. I know exactly how to fix it.
All right.
So starting at the top, first someone replies and it triggers the inbound webhook. Then
Yes.
then that person who replied on LinkedIn gets created as a contact inside Omega.
Yes.
1 minute later, so we give it a buffer to load the information.
Yep.
1 minute later, it tags them. So click that tag step. We're going to run a remove LinkedIn Realtor and maybe change that to whatever tag you want.
What do I want? What
Something
do I
that's common across all your campaigns, since this is a global,
Yeah.
this is a global workflow. You don't have to tag them at all. It's just something that helps when it comes to future filtering. Like I would tag them as just LinkedIn lead if, you know, worst case scenario, just LinkedIn lead plain. Not just connected, but also replied.
Ooh.
However, I think that's redundant because they're only in the system if they replied. So it's kind of redundant. If you can't think of a tag, we can just remove the tag step. There's no need.
No, LinkedIn is it?
Okay, now because that's a new tag that doesn't exist yet, click at the bottom where it says add new tag. Yep. And then click save action in the bottom right.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, and then after they get tagged, they get put into a weekly email drip. By default, it puts them into a realtor email campaign. What we can do is we can create a new campaign, or we can just take the content out of that and retitle that and all that stuff.
I got you.
So for now, we can delete that step and re-add it later when you have an email campaign set up. So yeah, go ahead and
Delete down here.
go ahead and click delete so that no one accidentally gets a realtor email. Yeah.
That'll delete the step, won't it?
It would delete the step, but we can always re-add it later.
Or I keep it as draft.
Okay, well, in this case, you're drafting the entire workflow, not just the step.
Correct. That's fine. That means that no one's getting an accidental. So now I've got to go to
Well, no, that means that anytime someone replies, they're not going to get put into Omega.
Until I finish this. Yes.
If I were you, I would leave it published so that anyone who replies starting today does show up in your pipeline and you can see that. And we can add an email workflow step later, once we have one created.
Oh, I'm hesitant to drop that step because it's the workflow that you've found that works, and I won't remember that that's where that goes if we're doing any more deleting.
I'll know because, you know, I just do. So
Okay. All right.
yeah. You can delete it. We can add a campaign later. I'll even show you how to do it right now. Like click the plus button in between those steps. And then type the word workflow. And then click add to workflow. And then select the workflow. And that's it.
Got it.
Yep, that's it. So you can click cancel at the bottom.
And pass input trigger parameters. So I will be able to use their name. Is that right?
What do you mean
Input.
username? Pass input trigger parameters. I want to explain this correctly. Basically, if there's specific parameters set up, then it would not go to that workflow. That's not something I've ever used either. Honestly. Once they
Okay, so
reply,
now I can, if I save action, yeah, it wants me
you
to
have
pick
to
workflow.
you have to pick something. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I need to have a,
Or you can just delete it, like I said, and add it later.
yeah, okay.
Okay. So after they get tagged, then it puts them into the opportunity pipeline stage 1.
Yep.
It will put them in the alert speed prospects pipeline in the new lead stage with their name, opportunity source, lead value you can leave as blank, or if the lead actually has like a monetary value to it, you can add that there if you want.
Yep.
And leave it as open. And I mean, leave it all the way. It's already set up the way it's supposed to. So just
Yep, exactly. Okay.
save action. Yep. Click save action.
Well,
Okay.
I didn't change anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. And keep scrolling down then or drag down. And these are the notifications. So notification to user, you are the user. So scroll down to the bottom of that, right there. You see how it says to user type, assigned user. So if you're the assigned user, which you will be,
Yeah.
then you're going to get notified. That's how it works. And
Okay.
then let's go to the next step, app notification to Will. So you'll have to click that, scroll down on the right side. Do you see how it's blank? That's why we were getting the error before. So scroll down more and select my name. Am I not available? Oh,
You're not available. I am.
I guess I'm not a user. Well, in that case, we can just delete that step.
Oh, okay.
And then the step below is email notification to your assistant. In this case, you don't have an assistant, so you can just remove that step as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so by default, we have 3 notifications, one to the client, you, one to me, and then if you, the client, has one of our assistants doing the replying and lead management, then they also get notified, of course. But we're not.
Could I have used that step to send an email to sales at alert speed, or would sales
Yes.
at alert speed have needed a seat?
Yes. Let me show you how to do they're called internal notifications. So click that and then type in the word internal in the search bar. And then click send internal notification. Then select the type, which will be email.
Yeah.
And then the from name will be from Richard. And then, yeah, from name, from email. And then to who. And then you can click to custom email.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, right.
And then which email do you want to send the email to?
And let's go. So if I did sales at, then if I get hit by a truck, that doesn't get lost.
God forbid.
New prospect activity.
There's no template I don't
Template.
think you can use. And then here you can use custom values to add the lead information. So at the top of the message box, click that tag. Yeah. And then click contact. And then full name. And then the lead full name will show up there in the email body.
Okay. Just accepted a link. Something like that, right? I think
So
that's all we're doing right now.
Actually, I would change that to just replied, because remember, they're only getting put into this workflow when they get the reply trigger. The integration we set up is upon reply.
Yeah.
Yep. And then that save action, and then save it at the top. It should work. Yep.
Workflow has been
So
saved.
fro-
So the only
so-
thing missing is this middle step, right? Oh no, this middle step here.
Yeah, that's the add a new step.
Okay. So then it's really about building the actual content itself so that the content steps can be pulled into these flows. So I should now then be able to work through your flows and then go back through your through your written content and change them. Okay.
Yeah, let me show you the workflows that already are connected to that pipeline, and you can swap the titles, swap the content. Also, an option is to just clone the workflow, and that works too. But they both accomplish the same thing. So click back to workflows, and then click back. On top of the workflow titles, there's a back arrow, a back. It says the word back. A little down, right
There
there,
it is.
right there. Yeah. So click top of mind awareness, and then click realtor top of mind email, the second one. So what you could do is you could retitle it and retag it and uh, redo the content that's in each email.
So, can I? Open my email. Okay. Save that.
Yep. And then if you scroll down, you can see how it works is first they get tagged, then it waits 14 days, which you can change.
So this is LI contacts email drip, right?
Whatever you want. Yep. And then click save
Okay.
action at the bottom. And then the next step is it waits 14 days or, 13 days. Interesting.
Holds a contact for a specific time until a condition exists or until the contact replies. By now you have spoken with the contact. Okay.
Right. So our logic was if they reply today, then good chance that within a 2 week window, you have spoken with them on a phone call. And then after, automatically, without thinking about it, they'll start receiving your value emails. That's the logic of how we set it up.
Interesting. Okay. Do I need to, in order for this to be really useful, do I need to kind of draw up what I think the customer journey with the touch points and the transitions will be? Because this is where I am right now with LinkedIn. It's so much more subtle because they're not answering a specific call to action. This is really just connected. I mean, this is me subtly trying to
Right. Build a relationship.
build a relationship and gradually get them, whether the system gave it to me or not, get them to give me their work email address, get them to give me their cell phone number. And this may take a series of drips across both LinkedIn and email before they go, you know what? I like this guy. Let me throw him a bone.
Yeah. We're definitely going to
Okay.
want to, at one point or another, add a call to actions. I mean, we have communication scripts that don't work on the phone. They don't work on email, but they work really well on social media. And that, like, for example, whenever someone says, you send them a call to action, would you be open to having a chat? As soon as someone says something positive, such as yes or yes, but not now, like something positive, then the script is basically great exclamation mark. Does Monday at 2 work? Send, and then follow up text. So their phone dings twice. So they're more likely to look at it because it dinged twice or buzzed twice.
Yeah.
What's the best number or what's the best email to send the confirmation to? So two separate texts, two separate questions. That way, when they respond, they give you everything that you need so that you can go into Omega and schedule the appointment. Speaking of that, were you able to set up your email connection to Omega on your own?
Yeah, I thought I did. So let's
Okay.
just save the whole flow. I think so. Let's just check my work.
Go to calendars, scroll up to the top, click calendar settings, click connections. at the top. Click connections.
Connections there.
And
I thought I'd even done Calendly, did I not?
so yeah, you connected your calendars and you've uh, conflicted calendars are in there too. Perfect. So just so you know, because you have Omega, you no longer need Calendly because Calendly is a calendar software. Omega is also a calendar software, as well as all the triggers and stuff that can speak to it and connect with it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're paying for Calendly. I know it's like really, really cheap, but you don't need it. You don't need a separate software for booking appointments. So I can show you where your calendar link is and how to customize your calendars. But as default, if you schedule an appointment and one of your calendars, then they'll get put into like a reminder of your phone call coming up, drip campaign.
Okay, great.
Not really a campaign, it's just a reminder flow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you go click at the top of your screen? Can you click calendars? Okay. And then scroll down. Do you see how there's like 6 calendars? There's Google, there's Outlook.
Yeah.
Which we're going to delete 3 of them because you don't use either one of the two. So are you a Google Calendar person or an Outlook calendar person?
Alert Speed is an Outlook calendar, but my Gmail is a Google Calendar.
And
I
where
have
does
everything coming into Outlook, and we have Office 365, which uses an Exchange backend.
I hate the Microsoft stuff. It's always complicated for me. Okay, so when you schedule appointments, where do you want them to show up? In your Google Calendar or in your Outlook?
Outlook.
Okay,
Because
so
here's the
let's.
other thing as well, is it's kind of tough, but I run well, I've got 4 showing here, but 4 different companies, 4 different calendars.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, okay,
and the
then.
tough part is I can't even get all 4 calendars to show in the tool because one of them's a giant corporation with enormous, um, well, with all kinds of restrictions on what
I understand.
I can and cannot do. So,
So go back to Omega and we can delete those Google calendars just to clean up your the calendars that you have.
okay,
So
so
anywhere where it says Google in the title, like that first one, click the 3 dots and delete.
delete calendar. Nice and easy. Let's clean up. There's another. And there's another.
Yep, and that leaves us with 3. Now, most likely you're going to use, you'll tell me, will you be scheduling more phone calls or more Zoom calls? Let's just start with one. I know you'll be doing both.
Probably more, well, actually Teams calls.
Okay, well, video calls. Okay.
Video calls, probably more video calls. I'm expecting both, but
Okay.
video because we want them
Did
ultimately to
you,
come and have a conversation, then get a demo.
can you click connections at the top? I want to see if you connected your Teams. And then click video conferencing and no email address found. So we got to link that first. Hmm. Maybe try refreshing your screen. Uh,
Okay. It did it,
yeah,
apparently.
it did it. Cool. All right, now let's go back to calendars, go to video call, and click the 3 dots on the right and click edit. Okay, so where it says video call with client full name, you're gonna want to write down your full name, and you can remove the Outlook calendar thing too.
I'm just going to go with the generic.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can delete where it says Outlook calendar. There's no need for that in the name. We just put that there in the beginning. Okay, and then do the same thing in the description.
It's not an introduction.
Okay, and scroll down, and you're going to do that again where it's in the custom URL. So you see it says video call with client name and all those like numbers and letters. So it can be video call with alert speed. That may be okay. You may be able to remove all those numbers and letters
Think so?
unless someone else has taken it already.
Oh, I cannot imagine. Okay.
Yeah. And again, last time, video call with user full name. You'll swap that. Okay, perfect. Scroll down, click select team member, click you. Let's remove that. Yeah.
All right. Have to-
Then where it says custom, click custom and select Microsoft Teams. Yep. And then click save at the top. And then it'll move us to the next step, which is availability.
Does it recognize that I am EST?
Yes, it does. When you set up your account, I'm assuming you put it in EST from the get-go. So if so, yes.
I did. So,
Then yes, everything you're looking at is in the EST time zone. I think we lose an hour this weekend or next weekend.
in Greece, we just lost an hour last weekend.
Okay, yeah, I know it happens different over in Greece. So if you already lost it, then we are losing it this weekend.
And I know that Germany does it at the end of the month, end of March.
To make it easier for you, because you're doing it one by one, click where
Yeah.
it says, you see where it says, do you see where it says like plus trash can, then copy?
Yeah.
If you click the copy one, click that,
Yeah.
and you can apply one
Oh.
of it. Yeah, save you some time.
All right.
Okay. And then there's more calendar settings down below, like meeting time duration, all that. You can leave it. I
Minimum
would say just leave
schedule.
it as is until you feel like you need to change it later.
Yeah, it looks fine. Post buffer 15, pre buffer. Okay, save.
Okay. And then they'll bring us to the forms section. Nothing's needed here.
Okay, save.
Um,
What's that? Facebook Pixel ID. I'm not using that because
where it says thank you message, let's change that thank you and looking forward to our Teams call or video call. Okay, click save.
yep.
And then this is the notification section. So, um, I don't like email notifications. I like the in-app notifications. And I would just focus on the second one, appointment booked confirmed. Because when an appointment's booked, they're all auto confirmed. Unless there's a need to do the whole unconfirmed thing, which you may want in the future, but for me, if someone books a call, it's confirmed it's booked.
Okay.
So click in app. And okay, so right now it's set up so that when someone books on a call, only you will get notified because you're the assigned user. So
Okay.
we can leave it as is unless you
And
want
that's
to
fine for now.
add users in the future. Yeah, that's fine for
Yeah.
now. Okay. So I would leave this the way it is.
I've got to run to my other call. I apologize, Will.
No worries, we're all done. So just click save for the final time and then click close and we're done. And I can show you really quick where the calendar link is, just like in Calendly.
Yeah, okay.
So, and you can do this on your phone too, but for now I'll show you here. Next to video call, click the three dots and click share. And
Okay.
it's the second one, permanent link.
Permanent link.
Yeah, and we can customize that so it says like alert speed instead of API lead connector. But we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
change,
okay.
we can change that later.
Or I can create a one-time link and change it there, right?
Yeah, the one-time link will just work one time and then it won't work for the second
Yeah.
person.
Okay. No, this is perfect. All right. Give me a couple of days working with the new knowledge. And if I get stuck on anything, have any questions, I'll come up in the little chat box in the window, or I'll schedule some more time. But this has been very helpful.
Perfect. I'm glad it has been. Good to hear.
Appreciate it, Will. Take care, my friend.
You too. See you, Richard.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.